Good morning, I'm June from Dehaimot Country Inn here in the Amana Colonies, and this is a beautiful spring day, so I thought I would go out and do some video shooting around the colonies and maybe share some information with you. So you can see that my background is a cemetery. So it is the cemetery here in Homestead. Every village has its own cemetery, and I'm going to switch this around so that you can actually see the little white headstones a little bit better. Okay, so the headstones are identical. They're all the same, and they are made in the basement of the church in Amana. So this is the main area of this cemetery where people who belong to the Amana church are buried. And then if we come over here to the other side, you can see there's another section, and this is for people who maybe live in the area but are not part of the church. So they can also be buried here, but it's a little bit of a separate place. So some of the things that I learned about the burial customs of the Amana people I found very interesting when we came here. One thing is you'll see a grove of pine trees all around every cemetery. So when you're driving around the villages, just look for those pine trees and you might see the cemetery. So I'm going to switch this back to me. And one thing that I found very interesting is people are not buried in family plots, which is something that a lot of us are used to. They are buried chronologically according to when they die. So if somebody dies one week, they are buried in the next place in the line. And if somebody dies next, the following week, they'll be buried beside that person. So it's all chronological. So be careful who you don't get along with in life, because you may end up spending all of eternity with them in one of these cemeteries. Let's go a little closer and see if we can just see what is on these little white headstones. There's a name, and then let's see, the date of death and how old the person is. So let me hear. Okay, so this person's name, it says when they died, and then how many years, months, and days old they were. So that's the information that is on each of these little headstones. And these are beautifully manicured cemeteries, well taken care of. Every time there's a storm, I'll see in the bulletin, you know, we need help to keep our cemeteries nice. And so people will come and help clean up. And you'll see over here they've planted some trees and they're watering them faithfully. So I just find these cemeteries beautiful and peaceful places. And sometimes I'll actually just come and sit here and enjoy. So that's some of the burial customs here in the Amana Colonies.